Hello, this is Daniel Mart, and today I'm going to be doing a review for the recently released X-Men Days of Future Past. This movie stars the majority of the new cast from First Class and the majority of the old X-Men films. Such as X-Men 1, X2, and Last Stand, X-Men Last Stand. And for those who kind of don't know who those people are, they include Hugh Jackman, James McAvoy, Michael Fassbender, Jennifer Lawrence, Halle Berry, Nicholas Hoult, Anna Pekin, Ellen Page, Peter Dinklage, Sean Ashmore, Omar Sy, Evan Peters, Josh Hellman, Daniel Cudmore, um, Bing Bang Fan, Ian McKellen. Yeah, Ian McKellen. Did I say that right? Yeah. Um, Evan Peters, um, Evan Peters, Aidan Canto, Boo Boo or Bobo Stewart, Patrick Stewart, Lucas Till, John Kilt, and Mark Camacho. Um, Mark Camacho and Greg Lowe, and I think that's everyone in this movie. Um, and Angela Leverman. Yeah, that's basically everyone in this movie to a T. That actually has some kind of important role in the movie. Um, yeah. Yeah. Oh wait, we also have Kelsey Grammer, Famke Jansen, um, Johnson. I don't know. Morgan Lilly, James Marsden. Yeah, as I said before, it's a new cast and the old cast plus a few added people into the mix. It has a very huge cast. That's all I'm gonna say. But all the actors and actresses I just mentioned, have pretty decent, well, not decent, either major roles or minor roles that impact parts of the movie or certain scenes in the movie. But yeah, that's basically the whole cast. Plus a few cameos that I've said here and there. Um, yeah, I basically said everyone. Yeah, that's a huge cast. Yeah, that's a huge cast. So yeah, enough on the cast, cause I think that's the most I've ever said for a cast. I think that's over 30 people alone. Um, so yeah. Um, before I actually begin, this is gonna be a spoiler video. I'm gonna spoil some stuff. I've tried to do spoiler-free reviews. Trust me, I have. The thing is, I can't do them. I just cannot do them. I've tried, and the few that actually come out somewhat right that don't spoil anything, I look awkward as hell speaking. Um, so sorry. I may try again in the future. I may do one for Guardians of the Galaxy or Godzilla or something like that. But yeah, sorry. I just can't do a spoiler free. I've tried, but I just look awkward. I try. For example, let's say I'm gonna be like, this isn't really good. This line I'm gonna say right now isn't gonna contain any spoilers, but I'm gonna be something like, oh, and then Wolverine, he no, that's gonna be spoiler territory. Well, no, I just can't do it. So spoiler, mornings as usual. Sorry guys, I just can't. I've tried, I can't. Sorry about that. But yeah, 10 seconds as usual. If you haven't seen the movie, go check it out. It came out 2 days ago. No, yeah, 2 days ago. At the time I'm filming this, depending on when you're watching this, go, still watch it. If it's still on in the theaters, or watch it through Netflix, buy it through DVD, Blu-ray, whatever. Get it somehow. Again, I've tried to do spoiler-free videos. I just can't. Sorry. So 10 seconds as usual, starting now. Okay, so 10 seconds are up. So for those who haven't seen the movie for whatever reason, um, go check it out. It's an amazing movie, and right here, if you have seen the movie and or staying for whatever reason, you'll find out why. And if you haven't seen the movie for whatever reason, please don't comment down below or be messaging me that never gave you a fair warning, cause I did. So yeah, yeah, um, yeah. So basically, in this, in X-Men: Days of Future Past, it's based off the Days of Future Past story arc. Um, I'm pretty sure it's by Frank Miller, but I may be wrong on that one. Um, yeah, don't quote me on that. But basically, you have here Wolverine, who is sent to the past, to prevent Mystique, played by Jennifer Lawrence, from killing Trusk. I can't say his name correctly. Trusk, Trask, Bolivar Trask, whatever. Played by Peter Dinklage. Um, so basically, what happens is Mystique kills Peter Dinklage's character, Bolivar Trask, whatever. And basically that sets up the events of the Sentinels taking over the whole world, or seemingly the whole world, or at least America and Canada, to say the least. Um, Trusk or whatever. He was working on the Sentinel project, and he had to find ways to convince them. Apparently, what happens is Mystique kills them, and that's how they're convinced. So Wolverine is sent back to the past, by Kitty Pryde, played by Ellen Page, I believe. Um, yeah, Ellen Page. Um, he's sent back to time because he's the only one physically capable of being sent back in time. Because what happens is that if normally what will happen is if someone is sent back more than a month, their brain may rupture, be damaged or whatever. But due to the healing factor of Wolverine, he could be sent back in time physically. Um, so he's sent back in time. He basically has to stop the events of Mystique killing Trusk, fuck it, whatever, from being killed, so that the Sentinels don't take over. Um, so that's basically it. Not gonna spoil it, but you could kind of figure out what happens by using common sense. Um, okay, this movie had a huge job, in my opinion. They had to figure out a way to give everyone equal screen time corresponding with how huge the role is to begin with. They also had to, make sure this time traveling, the concept of time traveling, doesn't seem forced or messed up. They also had to do the job of reversing or denying or changing the events that happened in both the Wolverine, X Men Origins, the Wolverine, and X-Men 3: The Last Stand. I believe that is. Let me check. Yeah, Last Stand. I have the DVD down there. Um, so they had a huge job, and did they pull it off? Hell yeah, they pulled it off. Um, the only plot hole I see is that towards the end, spoilers if you haven't seen it, well, whatever. Is that Stryker, I believe is his name, the guy who turns Wolverine's bones into adamantium claws. Um, and the last time you see Stryker, Mystique is Stryker. She transformed into Stryker. So I'm kind of wondering, does he ever get his adamantium claws? I want to assume yes. Because he's Wolverine, or for whatever reason. So I'm gonna assume yes. But that's really the only thing that I find plot hole wise. That's the only thing that really doesn't fit in my opinion. Um, so that's a gripe, not my biggest gripe though. No, my biggest gripe though is I couldn't get into the movie for like the first 10 to 15 minutes. I mean, granted, the first 10 to 15 minutes were for the most part action scenes, pretty actiony, well done action. Um, but for whatever reason, I couldn't get into the movie for like the first 10 or 15 minutes. I felt like I was just watching this like, is this really gonna be the pacing for the whole time? It's gonna be somewhat good, but I'm not gonna be able to get into it. I eventually did get into it about the 15-minute mark, which is when right around when they started sending Wolverine back in time. Um, yeah. So that's one of my biggest gripes. That I don't know if it's just me, or if this has happened to other people while watching the movie, but the first 10 to 15 minutes I just couldn't get into it, even though it was pretty well done action. So yeah, the action scenes were amazing. They were phenomenal. They were well choreographed. They were well done. Nothing to complain on that. The acting for the most part is decent. Um, for the most part is decent. So nothing wrong on that. The writing, again, for the most part, is decent. It is great for the most part. I mean, there are a few lines every here and there that seem odd or out of place, but for the most part, it is decent in my opinion. Um, so yeah. Uh, you do have the comedic aspect brought by Evan Peters, who portrays Quicksilver. He's really funny. He's a comic relief in my opinion. He's really funny. Um, there's this one scene which I'm not gonna say, but that alone, in my opinion, is the price of admission. I mean, that's the funniest scene in the whole movie. Um, so yeah. But you do have some other scenes. For example, this was actually in the trailer. Um, where Wolverine and Hank are Beast in his human form, um, are talking, and Beast asks, "Do I make it?" And Wolverine's like, "No." It's just funny the way he says it, because who actually says that to a person, even if you're friends? Who says that? This isn't a spoiler. This was in the trailer even, so not really much of a spoiler. It was in the trailer, so don't complain. Um, yeah, it was just very funny. And so you do have that comedic aspect. There are times which are appropriate, where it has grittiness and seriousness. Again, they are appropriate, and they don't try to make the whole movie gritty or serious. But doing when they do have to, they do make it serious. They do make it gritty. So I do have to applaud them for that. Um, as I said before, the action scenes were amazing. The writing was great for the most part. The acting was also great for the most part. The comedy was funny. It was very funny in my opinion. Um, did I miss anything? I mean, again, as I said before earlier in the video, that they did have the job of having to do like many things at the same time. Giving everybody somewhat equal screen time, respective to their how big their role is. Giving trying to tie in both franchises or parts of the franchise. So yeah. In my opinion, this is very funny. I just want to know how the Marvel Cinematic Universe is gonna portray Quicksilver, because I don't think they're actually gonna be in the same universe. Come to think of it, because we have this Quicksilver played by Evan Peters, and then the Quicksilver in the Avengers is gonna be played by Aaron Taylor Johnson. So I don't think they're actually gonna be able to make a some kind of combo with that, or you know what I mean, some kind of crossover. Um, but that's for another discussion topic. But I just really want to know how they're gonna portray Aaron Taylor Johnson's Quicksilver, because this one was really funny. I wonder how funny that one's gonna be. Um, for the most part, this movie was enjoyable. It was great. I mean, I do have some minor gripes against it, but again, minor. Well, man, decently minor. So it was a pretty great movie. I think this one may be just as equally great as X2, or maybe even better. But you'll have to see on them. But this was still a crazy funny movie. So yeah. Overall, what I think of it. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. 10 being the best, and 6 being decent. I give this a 9 out of 10. It's amazing. It's, phenomenal. It's funny. It does everything it's supposed to. You do have a few odd moments every here and there, but for the most part, it is well done, and I really, really enjoyed it. So yeah, that's basically it for this video. I have reviewed First Class, X-Men First Class. So check that out. Annotation over here for those who want to check it out. Besides that, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I do movie reviews, comic book reviews, and TV show reviews. So definitely stay tuned for those. Comment down below on your thoughts on X-Men: Days of Future Past. Have you seen it? What you think of it? More than 9, less than 9, or 9? What are your thoughts on it? And have you read the story arc it's based off, the X-Men Days of Future Past comic? What do you think of it? And do you recommend me reading it? Because I may read it, but depends what you guys say. I may read it more more faster or later in the future, depending how that goes. Um, so yeah, that's basically it for now. Subscribe, comment down below, like this video, share on Facebook, Twitter, and MySpace, or whatever you guys prefer. And that's basically it for now. This is Daniel Mart signing off.